I belong to a group of people that think the model of self-deception as lying to oneself ultimately makes no sense.
Okay.
Because in order to lie to you, I have to know something you don't, and I have to depend on your commitment to the truth in order to modify your behavior. I don't think that's what we do to ourselves. I think, and I'm going to use it in the technical term, and thank you for making space for that earlier on, I think we can bullshit ourselves, which is a very different thing than lying.
So what is bullshit? And how do we bullshit ourselves, technically speaking?
Yeah, Frankfurt, and this is inspired by Frankfurt and other people's work based on Frankfurt's work.
On bullshit.
Yeah, classic essay.
It's a pretty good title.
I think it's one of the best things he wrote. He wrote a lot of good things.
The title or the essay?
The essay. Title's good too. It's always an icebreaker in certain academic settings. So let's contrast the bullshit artist from the liar. The liar depends on your commitment to the truth. The bullshit artist is actually trying to make you indifferent to the question of truth and modify your behavior by making things salient to you so that they are catchy to you. So, a prototypical example of bullshit is a commercial, a television commercial. You watch these people at a bar getting some particular kind of alcohol, and they're gorgeous, and they're laughing, and they're smiling, and they're clear-eyed. You know that's not true. And they know it's not true. But here's the point. You don't care because there's gorgeous people smiling and they're happy and that's salient to you and that catches your attention. And so go into a bar. That won't happen when you drink this alcohol. You know it.
Yeah.
But you buy the product because it was made salient to you. Now, you can't lie to yourself, Lex. Salience can catch attention, but attention can drive salience. So this is what I can do. I can make something salient by paying attention to it. And then that will tend to draw me back to it again, and you see what happens? Which means it tends to catch my attention more so that when I go into the store, that bottle of liquor catches my attention and I buy it.
And that's, why is that bullshit?
Because what you're doing is being caught up in the salience of things, independent from whether or not that salience is tracking reality.
Is it independent or is it loosely connected? Because it's not so obvious to me when I see happy people at a bar that I don't in part believe that, well, my experience has been maybe different.
Yeah.
Logically, I can understand, but maybe there's a bar out there where it's all happy people dancing. In fact, most of the bars I go to these days in Texas, there's lots of happy people.
I think you can, there's probably variation, although I think it's the truth-seeking in there. Let's say the intent is at least to try and shut off your truth-seeking. It might not completely succeed, but that's the intent. At times, it can completely succeed because I can give you pretty much gibberish and never let it will motivate your behavior. There's a episode from the classic Simpsons, not the modern Simpsons, the classic Simpsons, where there's aliens and they're running for office in the United States. Now, I'm a Canadian, so this doesn't quite work for me, but right. And this speech goes like this: "My fellow Americans, when I was young, I dreamt of being a baseball. But we must move forward, not backward, upward, not forward, twirling towards freedom."
Yeah.
And people go, and there's a rush.
Yeah.
There's nothing there.
Yeah.
And yet it's great satire because a lot of political speech is exactly like that. There's nothing there, right?
Well, so
I'm not saying all political speech. I said a lot.
No, but there's a fundamental difference between, and it's so hilarious. I remember that episode. There's a fundamental difference between that absurd sort of non secular speech and political speech, because one of the things is political speech is grounded in some sense of truth.
And so if that requires you talking about alternative facts and weird self-destructive oxymoronic phrases, isn't that approaching pure bullshit?
No, I think pure bullshit, like the vacuum, is very difficult to get to. But I get the point.